Hey guys, what's up? So today's video is going to be a collaboration video with my best friend here on YouTube, Sammy Speaks. Her link will be down in the description box below, so make sure to go ahead and check that out for her video. We are doing a collaborative advice sort of video. Basically, the way this video came about was Sammy had asked for some questions on her Instagram for some advice, and she got a lot more of a response than she thought she was going to, but she didn't want to leave a lot of you guys hanging. We're going to go ahead and answer 6 questions on her channel and 6 questions on mine. I'm going to take the heavier, more like serious questions, and she's going to take the more lighthearted, like funnier ones. So please go ahead and check out her video down below for the more lighthearted, funny advice, and stick around if you want to see the more like in your heart advice, in your heart. Alrighty, so I have the questions on my phone and I'm going to display them across the screen here or somewhere as well. My first question is from Niam Murphy something underscore. I'm gonna, like I said, it's down there. How to deal with drug addiction and depression. And so I actually have a lot of experience with this, unfortunately, because there are a couple of people in my family who are addicted to some pretty heavy drugs, and it's a pretty unfortunate situation. But I guess the best thing to tell you is that the only way you can really dig with the drug addiction is the fact that you just have to remind yourself every day it's not worth it. Your life is worth more than that hit, more than that shoot, more than whatever you are doing. Your life is worth so much more, and just know that the more you engage into those behaviors, the more you're putting yourself at risk, the more you're putting everyone around you at risk. And just know that, like, I understand it's hard to just say no. No is literally the most powerful word that you have in your vocabulary. And as long as you use it and you stand by the fact that you've said no, you just have to say no and stand by it. As for the depression aspect of everything, I'm dealing with that. I'm still dealing with that. The only thing I can really say is just kind of take it one day at a time. Breathe. Make sure you are sleeping, you're relaxing, you're taking care of yourself. Yes, I know that while you're depressed, it is hard to mentally take care of yourself, but if you're not gonna take care of yourself, you're gonna fall further and deeper into that rut, and that's gonna be worse for you in the long run. Even if it's not genuine, every day just force a smile, because eventually, psychologically, smiling will make you feel better, and eventually, the more you smile, the better you'll feel. Yabo Gimbals asked, this is a sad one, but getting over death and loss. Now, unfortunately, I had an aunt die last year, 2 years ago. I think it was 2015. It was when I moved into this apartment. My aunt had passed away. Granted, I wasn't on the best terms with this aunt and everything like that, but I've dealt with a lot of loss in my life. I've lost my grandmother, I've lost a few of my uncles, and it sucks. And I'm gonna tell you that. It does suck. And losing that person's never gonna get easier. It's never gonna get easier. Everybody tells you, oh, it'll get easier, blah, blah, blah. It's not gonna get easier because that person's not gonna be there. But what you need to think about is the fact that you need to have their memory live on in your head. Once their memory lives on in your head, they're immortalized for more than centuries. As long as you have their memory live in your head, that person is still alive. They may not be right next to you, talking to you, or watching a movie with you, but they are still within you. That was kind of a cheesy answer, but I mean, that's how I've had to deal with it. Mac Mott asked, advice for feeling alone, like your friends don't care about your existence. You notice my angle jumping around a little bit? That's because I'm having some technical difficulties with my camera. It stops recording and I'm not quite sure why. Really aggravating, but I'm gonna get through this video. My experience with this is all too real lately, like more than I'm really willing to let on. But one thing you just have to do is make sure that you have someone to talk to, whether that be a friend online or in real life, your parents, or like a pet even. As long as you have someone to express those feelings to, you could even call the person out that's making you feel like that. I've done that before. Call them out on their bullshit. Tell them, hey, you're making me feel this way. Like, you need to tell them how it's making you feel, because if you don't, they're not gonna realize the mistake that they're making, and they're just going to keep continuing that process. What I'm telling you that you need to do is you need to confront them and be like, hey, this is how you're making me feel. If they end up being rude because of that or anything like that, then they're not worth your friendship. I've had to learn the very hard way that you have to be blunt or not at all. Astronaut asked how to find motivation. Basically, a really good way for you to find motivation is you just have to get yourself out of bed. You have to get yourself up, you have to get yourself going, you have to encourage yourself. So to gain motivation, you just have to sort of motivate yourself. Tell yourself, You're gonna get this done. You're gonna be your best you that you can be in one day. Tell yourself that you're gonna do it. Jude is Small asked, advice on finding what you're passionate about. Basically, you just gotta try a bunch of new things. Go out there, experience the world, live it for what it has to offer you. You just gotta experience new things, put yourself out there, see the world for what it has to offer, and then you will find what you're passionate about eventually. Like people with YouTube, and talking to you guys, giving you guys our stories. I'm Shelby the Gamer asked, not feeling confident in front of the camera. And that kind of ties into what I just said. Feeling confident in front of a camera just has to go with whatever you can do to make yourself feel better. Like, usually when you're not confident in front of a camera, that means you have some sort of like stage fright or something like that. And granted, I don't necessarily have any stage fright. A lot of you may not know, but I used to perform in musical theater and things like that. Being in front of a camera is really not that difficult for me, but for those of you that it is difficult to, think of this camera lens like this, right here. Think of this as your best friend. You're just talking to your best friend. You don't need to worry about feeling frumpy, you don't need to worry about feeling like gross or anything like that. This camera isn't a camera, it's just your best friend. Tell it your stories. Tell it your like most painful desires. Not desires, most painful whatever. You get what I mean. But just talk to your camera like it's your best friend, because eventually it will become your best friend. That sounds kind of stupid and kind of tacky, but like, you can always confide in yourself. And you also have to practice. If you don't practice and you don't consistently do in front of a camera, you're not gonna get any more comfortable, because if you only film like one video a month, you're not gonna get more comfortable with it because you're not doing it on a consistent basis. Alright, so I hope you guys did enjoy this spontaneous collaboration video that Sammy and I decided to do. Please make sure to leave a like down below if you actually liked it. Don't forget to subscribe for more from me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!